Goodness knows any. I don't remember where I was before. Fuck! Thing hits way too hard. I mean, most of the world's never set. I got a backstab on that. That wasn't very nice. Okay, stop spamming the move. question I have to wonder is if I drop down there, will it climb up around or will it not? Hmm? Bird. Dung. It might be worthwhile doing this. Ooh. Clean. I don't have any more arrows, so I'm gonna have to use bolts from here on. We will hold off on that for now. What's over there? Why would I? Guess I would drop down. Unless. Oh, wait, maybe I could do it. I'm gonna try that. I need to. Oh. Maybe prevent the amount of fall damage we want to take. Oh, I think I can maybe do it. What I'm gonna have to do is like jump not. One more try. One more try. And if I don't want to do it then, I will move on. Oh, okay. That's probably what you're meant to do. Not the weird way I was doing it. Well, at least I got a hit. I completely fucked that up. We are very familiar with this place. Could you be inside this building? I will hold off on that. I have a feeling that's like what the bonfire is. Oh, hello, Hex. How's it going? Welcome. Take a chair. Enjoy yourself. Eat. This is going to be chaotic. Unless. It knows where I am. Wait, are they reacting to sound? Oh. No, it 1% sees me. Great. I'm gonna wait till it sees me again. And then I'm gonna fight over in this corner. Come on, you see me. E. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't fight, I should attempt to run. Instead of trying to cheese these things. God damn it, that was rough. Oh, don't tell me, did those pricks respawn? Yep. Oh, that's where you get the slave knight gear set from. Huh. stop with this? Just gonna explore all this area. Ow. Ow. Ah. Excuse me, coming through, pardon me. Okay, out of the way. Don't buy. Oh, missed. Oh, they missed. They missed. They keep missing. You got a prick right there, but I don't have to deal with them, so I can ignore them. Nope. Yes. Oh. What I need to do in order to maximize the amount of time is just gun it. Ow. Oh, fuck. Oh, for God's sake, I'm not running. Okay, that's a lot of deaths. All because I'm not committing to the bit. Hi, mate. How's it going? Well, outside of the game, I'm actually doing great. But in the game, I'm doing bad. Well, that's toxic too. No, stop. All these birds are kind of beating me up. Well, actually, thinking about it, I don't even need to be here anymore. At least this way I'd be able to pop this gate open. Probably not a good idea, though. Oh, there's a ladder. Well, don't need it. I wonder if there's like a well around here somewhere. Knocked that enemy right back into the well it came from. Well, now that the gate's open... can do is grab a crossbow. Change out this ring for something that I can benefit from. Oh, you're up there. Really? Okay. We're doing better. Sharp Gem. You're gonna give me time to restore my stamina. Hey. That could have gone a whole lot better, but it's fine. Screw your chairs. I remember there should be like a tree fucker. Right here. A few more points of damage is always going to be beneficial in the long run. I'm going to get invaded here.
I've seen your kind, time and time again. Every human man must be caught. Every secret, but in the end, to the agony.
It's probably a bad idea trying to parry him. I say that, but then I nail it. Oh no. I'm being a lot of damage by doing this. No. Huh? What was that all about? Are the parries breaking him? Is he not meant to be parried? Oh no. Oh, I thought he would do two, 1-2. Ow. really shouldn't be doing this. I need to be earlier on that when I see him swinging. Oh no, apparently not. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. Sayonara, Silver Sir Vilheim.
Maybe. Swore an oath. But I have
I wonder, can this kill you? No. Oh. Oh, I forgot to switch the shields. Ah, it's fine. More still breaking.
I believe thou'rt the one of the wonders. 'Tis good, the door is open. 'Tis good, I promised Uncle Gale. 'Tis good, the door.
The door. This does not move. Don't I get invaded again at some point? Or am I insane? After all that bullshit, I'm gonna go to the Fighting Shrine real quick. That's another level that I can use. Plus maybe a few items.
Ashen.
He's done. I should probably go grab Corinx's stuff. So I might probably try and grab that guy's stuff too. But where is that gnome located? I don't remember. Well, at the very least I can go grab that stuff. It's just the gear. It's not actually really necessary. It's like around here if I remember right. It's where you get the spotted whip. Oh, I didn't know there was a thing here. Grab this. What is this? Partisan.
Ashta, then I am a thousand. Very then taken.
No. Want more dexterity.
Mayst thou that
Do you sell bolts? You sell only normal bolts. Whether arrow gets more range. I'm only buying like 30. It's not for damage, it's mostly just the aggro.
Ashen. time. Heed the hunter.
Oh, you don't make any comments that once I find the gear. Hmm.
Oh, it... Dude,
What?
Reinforce. Great.
Right like that.
Painting. I think this is where I wanted to go next. There is one thing I do need to do. But it's not important right this minute. Okay, I can carry it. Can I carry anything else? Not the worst. Overall, that's pretty damn good. Shit. There's a lot of these enemies around. Did that alert? No. Okay. Oh, did he fall? He must have fell. I've fallen and I can't get up. Hang on, I gotta scratch my ear. Imagine bro was back trying to get unflipped. He doesn't notice me. Sorry, I'm scratching my ear again. Surprising it's very itchy. frogs. Ow. God, please. Perfect, that's what I wanted. I want you to separate. Liminal. I'm immune to your bullshit. Oh no. Mm. Something just tank the damage. The armor's just not really the best for damage absorption. It's actually pretty bad. The Lothric Knight set's way better. But it's also way heavier. But this is my armor set, so I have to live with it. Ow! Where? You weren't there before, you blighter. Another chunk. Technically, if you are to ever rush the DLC, you can actually get quite a good bit of gear out of it. Ow. Another one for the backstab. Aranka, I was going to say another one bites the dust, but no. That's where the shield is. This area's all clear. That's the bell where I was a moment ago. Oh, this is where you get a cheeky shortcut from one side to the other. Do not drop down, that's a pit. I certainly considered it. There should be another one somewhere. I really do play it risky, don't I? Oh, that's the proper way to have gone about it. I didn't. I could drop down, but I would need to equip the Silver Cat Ring. I believe there's a path to just walk down there. I don't know if I want to actually drop down. Actually, it might be okay to drop down. Sorry, I'm switching the order of the rings around. It's not okay. Oh. Where's... I'm gonna have to come back to this area a little bit later. I don't want to get massacred so handily. Okay. So I dropped down, but where could they see me from? There's one guy down there. Oh, you're over there. Pretty sure that's a fake thing that makes you fall down. The archer also just spotted me when I was standing there. I have to get the shield out. All dogs bounce off of it. Juan tool. Ah, he was protecting the torch with the torch. Who would have known? Oh my god. Oh. Oh. Huh. Bye. And that, everyone, is how you deal with dogs. Stand close to an edge. They will eat themselves off for you. No, I still can't go down there. Have to deal with the archer. Wait, did I just see a rock that it doesn't have a... Yep, right there. Geometry. No, you have one archer over here. Why hit him in the head would be funny. Oh shit. Really didn't keep aggro. Come on. Keep walking. Oh shit, that went to the fucking nowhere. No, come on. Keep coming. Oh, fuck. Mosfrit? This time I'm staying close to the wall. Even though it'll probably actually get me killed. Okay, that could have gone better. Oh, right in the... Here's the shortcut. The actual way to progress. Come on. Fuck. That's pretty bad. I didn't think he would get a quick swing in to hit me mid-jump. Oh, I screwed myself. I should have gone over to the quick way, because that's a lift. Oh, I actually managed to go over here before. Oops. Ah, well, either way. I have a easier way to get through. What do you want? What the fuck? Really should be trying to trade. Yeah, that's that. I'm just gonna do that. Because if I don't do this, I'm gonna end up dead.
Tis
Just to reset the enemies so they don't end up all chasing me to the ends of the earth. So, real quick, if you have any phobias about insects, buzzing, or dark spaces, or dark wide open spaces, I recommend you mute the stream and or mute the tab, or the video, depending on how you're watching this, and come back. Just stop watching probably. I might be stuck in here for a wee bit. That's your warning. Because I also forgot that this area was coming up next. I'm half trying to remember how the hell to progress.
For should this even then leave that.
Thou hast so be it, but I wished of a one day. That's why I wished of a coal one day. That's why I must see flame.
Flame's right here. Look, flame, flame. Right in your face. Look, look. One of these walls is fake. I just don't remember which one. Ah, screw it. This probably might end up getting me bled to death, but... Oh, there's Wilhelm's gear. I kind of realized that running around with the torch out probably is actually getting me spotted more often than not. Or is it? But I mean, reacting me regardless. You know, if they're meant to be like flies or whatever, then surely they would react to like the big beam of light here. Okay, I think that's everything. I need to remember to cut my nails because I'm cutting myself with my own fingers. Yeah, this was the fake door. I just couldn't find it. I don't actually need this. Oh, well, technically I don't need it because I think this area is now complete. Once I turn this. I've never actually seen this cutscene. I don't fully remember what it is.
As ashes will be, ever seeking fire.
And then she goes, okay, well, I guess I'll go fight him. For whatever reason. There's really no reason to, even walk up there. I could just teleport. Probably the easiest thing to do. Oh yeah, I forgot that's not even the right bonfire I'm at. Oh, god damn it. Screw it, I'm just going to fight and try and level up once.
Ashen one. Oh.
What? Break like that.
Then I down. Very then take.
Anyway, let's see if we can attempt the boss and not perish immediately.
Leave us, thou art the Lord of. Leave us, thou.
Alright, Phantom Slave Knight Gale. Help me out later then. Nerd. I wonder. I know she's boss. Oh! She really just went.
Flickering once again. Not enough blood yet shed. My flail. Bring me my flail. Ah, Frida. What stops thine ears? Please, my flail. Right away.
Snake. I didn't think you could attack him. Hello.
Bring Frida to me, please. Canst thou not see?
Oh. You said please.
Flickering once again. Soon blood surge. I can see it, feel it.
Fret not, Father. We have no need of thy flail. 'Tis only the flame quivering at misguided ash.
Why are you so weirdly focused on feed game?
Please avert thine eyes. I will snuff out these ashes for good.
I'm really just imbued her with fire. Gale, it'd be nice if you show up now. Nope. Resetting that. That was a bad roll. I also don't think the Hornet Ring's doing anything. So what I might be able to do is whenever I defeat her on the third stage, I can switch between everything. I forgot to summon Gale. Oops. I'm not raw dogging that fight on my own. Uh-oh.
Return from whence thou
Fuck.
camest. Ruin surely awaits thee.
She's way too agile. I need a quicker weapon. We'll give it a try. She is.
Return from whence thou camest. Furia surely awaits thee.
No, Yuri is dead. Give it on a rock.
Return from whence thou camest.
Almost no
Surely
flasks.
awaits thee. Return from whence thou camest. Furia surely awaits thee.
take it slow, take it carefully. Be sure to look at what you're using and make sure that the stats you put into it benefit it. For example, this heavy Lothric sword, based on the icons, if I can remember how to press the right button, has an A scaling in strength at +10. I obviously upgraded it to the max it can be, but this means that it gets a lot of boosts from strength. Right now, I'm currently mostly a strength build. Got a little bit of faith. I could be using it a little bit more, but So ideally, from a math point, you ensure that your gear is benefiting from your stats. Souls-likes are math games as much as people don't like to admit it. If you have good stats and you're able to maintain, a capable build, you'll be able to get through a lot of the game with relative ease. If you have a lot of stamina, that means you're going to be using big two-handed weapons because they will end up eating up the most stamina. If you have a lot of HP, that just means you're, at least aware that you will get one shot, or you won't get one shot in later games. For example, in Elden Ring, and maybe Dark Souls 2, you're better off leveling HP because a lot of the early game stuff can't really kill you immediately. Whereas in Dark Souls 3, a lot of stuff can. It doesn't really matter, a lot of stuff just will kill you. Another thing is, don't be afraid to just turn your camera like 90 degrees left and right just to check as you're going around corners. And don't be afraid to keep your shield up. A lot of those people you see online who end up doing insane runs where they have no gear equipped, it's only the long sword or whatever, they're insane. Do not try to mimic them. Do not copy them. They're the ones that spend it and make it their life's duty. Where the fuck is she? And don't be afraid to die. It's okay to make mistakes. As long as you know that wherever you died, you can comfortably get back to the point where you died. And don't be afraid to sometimes just back up and go back to where you were before. Just reset, because sometimes, you've learned. And I would make one more final recommendation. If you're playing any of the Dark Souls and Elden Ring, aim for physical stats first. I don't know where she is. There she is. Because early game physical stats are way more important than your magical stats. Unless you manage to, again, like a speedrunner, speedrun your way all the way to one of the good magical weapons. And by magical, I mean it's either doing lightning, magic, or something else. While you're doing that, ideally you'd be leveling your physical stats, your HP, stamina, strength, or dexterity. One of those 4 main ones. Okay. In this case, the best way to look at it is get ready to be shocked. You're not gonna no-hit this. You're not gonna no-death it. You're going to get shocked. And because you're gonna go into a fight, much like this, because I don't know what Souls you're specifically playing, and I played quite a few, so I could probably maybe give some pointers depending. Like this here, I've died now 8 times, but this is a very, very long fight. Okay, Dark Souls 3, level your HP, level your strength or dexterity, depending on what you want to use. Do not have homeward bones on hand, so that the moment you end up going not confident, you run away, heal, pop homeward bones, so you go back to your bonfire. Homeward bones will end up being the main thing you'll want, because you'll want to avoid getting 2-hit. Also, be afraid of humanoid enemies. If they're bosses, they're scary. they will mess you up. And don't be afraid to use the embers, because they will increase your total max HP by 1.2 or something like that. It gives you more HP to work with, is basically the point I'm saying. And the best starting class, just for comfortability and just the being advantageous across the board, is the knight class, the one I started with. But I'm not using the knight gear, I'm using farm gear. Same difference though. Because it has a very high carry weight. It starts off with a longsword, which generally by many has one of the best movesets in the entire game. It has very high strength compared to many others. There's one class that maybe has more strength than it, but it also has the most HP, I believe. And a good chunk of stamina. And the armor itself is actually one of the most best for defense reduction. Or defense, just defense stats. Yeah, no, your main thing is be ready to be hurt, because there are several gimmick bosses in Dark Souls 3 that your first time around you'll not know how to beat. And you'll have to just maybe sacrifice a few deaths to achieve. Especially if you end up doing the DLC. There's a lot of dual bosses. Because this is a single into duo into single. Ow. Nope. Where'd she go? Is she doing the heal? I can't tell. She was doing the heal. Well, if you're not planning on doing the DLC, because this DLC that I'm doing right now is apparently a mid-game one, even though the boss is like, honestly, end-game, in regards to like the sheer length and difficulty. And don't be afraid to do tactics like this, where you end up using up your normal HP and then use shit. Try not to take hits like that. I'm probably gonna end up losing this run overall. Was I able to? Probably not. I'm making a lot of mistakes too. And also, I'll say this much. one big thing is your level will generally help you out because every stat you level will give you passive like resistances to damage overall. So leveling is always a good idea. Your gear will do like a significant chunk of like carrying you, but it's not like the be all end. Oh! Okay. No, this is not a W. This is the third form. And I'm getting fucking toxic shit at me. This is the hard part. Oh, shit. I'm going to end up losing. And the game gives you resources to use. Do not be afraid to use them. Ow. Oh, that's me dead.
Leave us be, Ashen One. Thou art the Lord of Lordaeron, and have thy own subjects to guide.
Okay. So now that I'm out of the combat. If you're... So to summarize, basically. Do not be afraid to put stats in HP if you feel like your HP isn't covering it. Do not be afraid to put stats into your physical or dexterity. Sorry, strength or dexterity. To offset that. If you find you're running out of stamina, put points in your stamina. Always just be aware as well that some weapons might have just better scaling when it comes to certain stats versus others. And technically I did that fight extra hard because I didn't get the temporary summon for that second fight. But... I have to souls. I have to farm at some point. And that's another thing. Don't be afraid to farm. Here's the thing. If people say, oh, you can't beat the game at this level, who cares? Push your levels out as high as you can. Use the gear that you want. Because it will make you inherently a better player by going, okay, this is like the break point of being comfortable for getting through the levels. As you can also kind of see here, for an example, when you're upgrading weapons as well, you can kind of see that the D for dexterity, C for faith are being increased. They don't change ladder immediately, but it's because they don't show the numbers. I don't know what the numbers off the top of my head is, but they are being increased, meaning it's going to do more damage overall, as you can see reflected in the physical damage. These are things that the game doesn't really explain. There is like a help button you can press where you can look at the explanation and how things work. Yes. If I were to... Do I have a mace? They're kind of the same. Do I have two of the same weapon? I think I do have another longsword. Maybe. I think on my box. you're going to end up seeing some weapons that maybe you probably should be at least a bit more excited to not see, but I'm trying to find... Have I not improved anything? Oh, no, I guess I haven't. Well, sad that you can't upgrade. You cannot upgrade armor. You can only really get heavier armor, which will have better scaling or better damage reduction. That's the one thing I will say. That's like the most simple thing to worry about. But yeah, as you upgrade weapons, you will improve the scaling, meaning that a level 10, which is the max for normal weapon will end up getting like the equivalent of like 20 points for however much strength per level versus another one at like level 0, which will have like 2. Some weapons scale really hard, but early on they're kind of shit. I don't know what ones they are, but I know that there are ones that do that. Some of them are more consistent in regards to their overall scaling. And one of the main things to also be aware of is this is something that's definitely not talked about, and it's kind of drives me up the wall that the game doesn't talk about it. Stability for your shield. Shit, I just got rid of my shield. How do I do this again? There we go. Stability is one of the most important things for shields. It dictates how much stamina is used whenever you block an attack. So you could block effectively every single big attack in the game. Except for maybe grabs, because I don't think you can block grabs. Pretty sure you can't. You have to roll through those. And it can consume stamina, but you'll still have excess stamina to work with. Bigger shields tend to have better stability. As you can kind of see if I actually went and got one like a goofball. So I'm mostly just ranting about certain things that are done in game. As you see, like this is a big shield. 75 stability. That's a lot. But you compare it to a smaller shield, it's 41. Different stamina usage. Oh, don't worry. Like, I know that the growing pains and the actual like trial and error pains of playing Dark Souls is something that there are certain lessons that you will learn just in regards to like just raw gameplay. Because, you know, a lot of people think that if they end up wearing like big shields and big armor, well, if I actually kind of make myself overweight, they'll end up with a roll like this and they can manage to get through the game. Yes, you can. If you're very capable at the game and or you have a lot of stamina to work with and instead you do more blocking rather than rolling. But the issue is, that is it's doable. People can and have done it before. Sorry, I'm just ranting now. Again, I know the growing pains, I know the trials and errors, I know the difficulties. I've been at this game, well, not this specific game, but I've been at this series since like Dark Souls 1 back in like 2011. Or was it 2012? It was sometime. I have done multiple runs in Dark Souls 1, multiple runs in Dark Souls 2, multiple runs in Dark Souls 3. I avoided PvP. Oh, big tip of don't be online. If you have the ability to turn your game to offline mode the moment you start playing it, keep it offline mode. Right now, everyone online playing this game are two things: hackers or glitchers. They will invade you, ruin your game. You can go into the settings, I believe, and force it to be offline specifically. That is if the chat forces you. Yeah, I was going to say, if the chat forces you to play online, there's going to be a very high chance you'll be invaded by hackers and glitchers. Glitchers aren't the worst, but they will kind of show you the depth of the knowledge that you lack and will make you hate the game. Hackers will possibly break the game, depending. They're There might also be, some of the chat might suggest using specific mods or alternatives to be online but not be dealing with hackers. That requires extra steps, and that's up to you ultimately to do. But my biggest tip is just being offline. Yes, you won't get to have assistance from the chat or anyone else really, but it's better off you go at your own pace and not someone else's. Because eventually you will get that confidence of running through an area where you'll know that there's going to be enemies placed throughout it and you can just kind of run past them. Because I will say, the Dark Souls series is, especially Dark Souls 3, one of my favorite games. It's very enjoyable, it's very fun. It's very quick to get into, and you're able to get a build going very quickly too. But don't be afraid to take it slow. Like, unless you're specifically forced to rush through the game, for whatever reason, maybe there's a roulette thing that's like, just go. Then maybe that's a bit different. But don't be afraid to take it slow, and don't be afraid to listen out for things you hear too. Being able to hear an enemy walking near you with the big footsteps, some don't have that, is very useful. That's actually why a lot of the time the game is actually very silent. There's no music. Like, there's music here and it's very quiet and very subtle, but there's no threats here. But if you were to go anywhere else, it's completely silent. Downside, that does make it kind of awkward whenever you're playing it and it's just dead silent. There were many times I'd be locked in while playing the game and well, it's just nothing going on. But basically, to summarize the points, if you can be offline and or are not forced to be online, be offline. Level your physical stats, HP, stamina, strength, and dexterity. They will do you the most. Later on, you'll get magical stuff, and you can then start worrying about your magical stuff. You can start leveling that. Take it slow. Do not worry. You can also, like, every single enemy, you can taunt away by just throwing shit at them. And there's also like the little tip of like being able to walk forward just enough until you see one turn around to face you, and then you back up. That's kind of just like any game would have that type of knowledge. Yeah, that does work. Just throw an entire chair at someone and they'll get their attention real fucking fast. And generally level your stats depending on the way you want to do it. Because your first time, you'll probably just do a sword and board, sword and shield build and just rock with it. That's perfectly fine. Doesn't make you any less skillful or not. Play the game at your own pace and just try and enjoy it. Admittedly, you being zapped every time you die is going to be, well, I'll tell you this much. The moment you start, there's a very high chance you're going to die against the first boss you come across. He's not a skill wall or anything. I ain't going to give you like the tips and tricks of how to beat the boss or anything. I'm just going to tell you, he will probably kill you first time. And unless the chat specifically says do this and then this, if you're choosing to listen to them, then that's different. But ultimately, the first boss will shock you. I'll say this much. If you ever need tips or tricks or anything else and not have someone lie to me or lie to you, just hit me up. I'm completely okay with being like, here's how you can probably approach it and here's how you can get through it. You will still end up dying a lot though, especially against bosses. Because unless you have an excess of armor bones, which look like this, which allow you to, return back to your bonfire, your rest point basically, you're probably going to end up eating a death or two. And a lot of bosses will force you to rush. That is something to be aware of. But as long as you clear out the area before the boss and you just take your time beforehand and you make sure to level yourself, you'll be fine. You will still have maybe around, I want to ballpark it around 60 deaths total for the base game. Might go up to 80 if you have if you go against the more hidden stuff. But if you end up going through like the main game and it's just like main story section each time, you'll probably have around 60 deaths, give or take. Maybe 70 if it's like especially like getting used to, because the controls, I don't know how you're going to be playing it. I don't know if you're playing it on console, if you're playing on PC, whether or not you're using keyboard and mouse on PC, or whether or not you're going to be using controller on PC. The different methods can mess you up a bit. I would encourage in controller if you can, but keyboard and mouse works just as fine. Just takes a little bit more to get used to. Hey, considering you're definitely doing controller, yeah, get comfortable with it. I might pop in purely because I actually do like watching people who are very new to the game go through it. As it kind of makes me also realize, yeah, I've come quite a distance from where I started myself, like however many years ago. I will say the fact you're starting with Dark Souls 3 is like kind of surprising. Humble, maybe, but it's more, I know what it's like to try and just ram your skull through something and not make any progress. And I don't want people to do that because the game series is actually very fun. Because once you start enjoying them, like the Soul series specifically, there are so many other Souls-likes that open up and change up the formula. It really helps. See, the reason why I'm surprised about that is many people start with Elden Ring, which is the most newest one. And it's also the most quality of life friendly. Admittedly, it being on sale is actually pretty damn good. But ideally, now there's going to be a controversial opinion. If you were to start with any, I would say start with 1. Only because all those lessons I tell you, no, really, on Dark Souls 1, this is going to be kind of wild. I think Dark Souls 1 is a lot more fair to the players because of how clunky it is and how easy it is to become very hard to kill. Dark Souls 3, you're still really easy to kill unless you go out of your way to become harder to kill, if that makes any sense. There are certain pieces of gear that you end up getting. Sorry, I'm just gonna sit. There are certain pieces of gear that you can get in Dark Souls 3 that will make you harder to kill, but you have to go out of your way to find them. But in Dark Souls 1, just upgrade your armor, upgrade your weapons, you'll cover most of the game. It's just Dark Souls 1, the difficulty with Dark Souls 1 is the clunk. It is an old game. It does not have omnidirectional rolling. You can't roll in 8 directions. You can only roll forwards, backwards, left, and right. A lot of the early game classes aren't balanced for their weight to armor ratio. So you'll actually be heavy rolling as some classes and mid rolling as others, and light rolling as others. It's even more obscure with like certain things that are explained. And it can kind of be confusing to get through some stuff. And there are like, I think 3 bosses that are like just straight up impossible to beat without the actual established knowledge. Like, I'll even spoil a specific boss. To beat it, you have to do a jump in Dark Souls 1. And doing jumps in Dark Souls 1 are really difficult. Like, really, really difficult. Because there's a 50-50 chance, just outright, you will just fail the jump and fall to your death. But the reason why I'd say that you would start with Dark Souls 1 is that you would understand. Ideally, you would start with Demon Souls if you can, but unless you get a PS5 or PS3 and you're able to get a copy of the game, then that's a lot harder, so I wouldn't encourage it. But starting with Dark Souls 1 gives you like the hardcore background knowledge of just where it came from, how it started, and where the series is going. And a lot of the lessons you learn in Dark Souls 1 will apply in Dark Souls 2 and in 3. They even apply in Bloodborne, if you get access to it, and also Elden Ring. Like, those 4 games... Sorry, 5. I'm including Bloodborne. Yeah, I'll say this much. Whenever you're doing 3, I'd encourage you to end up doing, at least in this order, since you're locked into 3. That's fine. I'm not going to say, no, you shouldn't. But if you have an order to go from, I'd say go 3, go 1, go 2. The only reason being is that 3, at least, is like the most similar to Dark Souls 1. And the reason being is that in the development cycle, Dark Souls 2 was made by a different team who had different design analogies for the game. It's still effectively the same game, but it's just a lot of the things they did was different enough to make 2 feel like a black sheep compared to Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 3, Elden Ring, and Bloodborne. Those 4 games all kind of play similarly, but Dark Souls 2 does not feel super same, but it's still a good game. Do not look down on the, as many call Team B's efforts of making a good Dark Souls game. It is genuinely just as good. There are confusing parts in it, as any other game is, but again, that's just kind of how it is. That's what Dark Souls is. And generally, my advice also kind of applies to all the games. Love your physical stats first. HP, stamina, strength, dexterity will probably get you through pretty much 90% of the game. Just raw stats. There are going to be hard bosses because they may have numbers or length on you, but that comes with experience. I was going to end up doing more freed attempts, but I kind of got, I realized that I'm actually underleveled as fuck. Well, not underleveled, understated for what I want to do. Because I need 40 vigor, I need probably a little bit more vitality. Nah, don't worry yourself. I don't mind talking about people that are going into the game fresh, because that is something that will also let me relearn my own lessons. Like, I'm rushing through Freed's fight consistently. I should have taken it slower. I know the boss will force me to do stuff, but I should just take it slower. And admittedly, I'm kind of realizing that I'm underprepared. I probably need a little bit more dexterity to at least be doing just a little bit more damage. I could probably change the weapon to be refined, rather than it being heavy. Let me just double check before I forget. Sharp. 7 points more, but that's dexterity scaling. See, that gets both. So that's probably a little bit more beneficial. Yeah, I think me having it be refined is a better choice. I don't think lightning does great. Yeah, refined longsword is probably the one I want to try and go for. It squeezes out more damage. That's around 20, 30 points. I'm well aware, Akora, that Crapulon Fables is terrifying. I believe in the short time I streamed Terraria modded, I was struggling against that boss. But I am going to have to call it for now, at least. Dermis, I am going to follow you, and I will definitely be in to try and watch you run through Dark Souls 3. Only because it'd be fun to see you grow. From being inexperienced to experienced. Also, it looks like you painting an art too, so that's also a benefit. Again, most of my voice... My voice? What? Most of my advice will always be... Take your time. Don't rush. Because I know at one point whether or not... if I'm playing a different game, there might be a game I come across, and you might be the one who has the most experience with it. And you know what? Hopefully back that at that point in time, you'd pay me back. Give me advice, help me get through it. And I'm not surprised, Akora, that... Wait, you were fishing in the mushroom biome, Akora? I actually am meaning to try playing Binding of Isaac at some point. Because I do have it, and it's just kind of sitting there. Right, so I'm going to make a list. Farm a bit. Get more gear. Or more levels, at least. Figure out how to beat Freed, or just raw dog it. And then get through the next chunk of the DLC, which is the Ringed City. The Ringed City should be easier than the Ashes of Ariandel, I'll say that much. As weird as it is to say. But... with that, I am going to call it. Thank you, Dermis, for coming in. I hope your own journey through Dark Souls 3 is not as painful as you're hoping. Or not as painful as the chat is hoping. And, of course, I might hit you up off the stream. Depends. I'm going to be drawing. So it's 50-50. I've got like 4 days before I have to like finish the thing I want to do. But until then, I'll catch you all later. This is the end for YouTube and Twitch. I might find someone to raid out to. I'm not 100% sure. Depends who's online right now.